Hello, this is Dr. Cleveland with another exciting episode of Building Your Skills in Excel. Today we're going to look at overcoming challenges in sensitivity analysis tables using Excel. And let's get right to it. What we're doing here is we are comparing a lump sum annuity, lump sum versus an annuity. Let's suppose the lump sum is going to be $15,000 and your initial payment is on the annuity is $1,000 that is going to increase every year by 6%. And this is something that's not particularly different than what you might find, say, in a lottery payout. We're going to use a 5% interest rate for calculating our net present value. And let's get right to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 1,000 here as my first value, and then I'm going to use that value to increase by 6% every year. So I'm going to multiply that times 1 plus my increase rate of 6%. I'm going to hit F4 because I want that to be anchored with an absolute reference. And so I can then just copy this down for the 10 years of the payout that I'm just, in this example, making up. And so the total value of my payments, I'm going to just click on the auto sum to say, okay, total value of these payments is $13,000. Now to get the net present value, I'll use the NPV function, and my rate is 5%, and my values that I'm going to sum here are these 10 values, and you'll see that the net present value is a little less than $10,000. Now to get my table for the sensitivity analysis, I'm going to I'm going to reference that NPV function because that's got to be the corner of my table. And then I'm going to highlight all these numbers that I've already included, the change across here in the row of the initial payment, and then the change in the interest rate. Then I go to the data tab. I go to the what if analysis. I go to the data table. And the row input cell, I've conveniently highlighted that in lavender, is this 1,000. The column input, the interest rate, I've made blue. And then I click OK. And you see here, across every row, the numbers are the same. And the reason for that is I intentionally just put the 1,000 in here instead of cell referencing. So when I substitute this, instead of all the rows having the same values, we should see different values in each cell. So let's see if that works. Oh, look at this, it's beautiful. So we see changes in values in the cells here once I do that. Now, I have had some situations where even if I reference this in the first cell, I don't know why, some evil spirit occupies my Excel. If I get the same syndrome with the first cell or with the rows having all the way across, I just use that value there to make sure that it changes. And you'll see here that in this area I have done conditional formatting to highlight the values above $15,000, which is the value of the lump sum payment, to show you where the values would be greater than the $15,000. And you can see most of them here, they're starting at 1,400 as an initial value and up. And at the lower interest rates, because your net present value, remember that the interest rate is a divided by number, so it's the sum of the payments divided by the 1 plus I to the number of time periods, so that as the interest rate gets smaller, actually that value gets larger because it's being divided. So here you have, you can see it looks like this in this situation. It's a little bit more sensitive to the initial payment rather than the interest rates. And you could also test that by taking the differences between the high and low in the base case situation here. It's 87 to 11,000. The interest rate changes, and here from 5%, in the 5%, it goes from just less than 8,000 to just less than 16,000. So that's a much bigger swing. So over your potential values, it looks clearly that the initial payment is the far more, it has far more impact on your decision than the interest rate does. So I hope that this helps you understand better how you can troubleshoot some if when you come across some problems when you're trying to do a sensitivity analysis table. Good luck.